Hey, good morning. Sunday, August 9th, 2026. Ken Arizona talking baseball here in Vista, California. Yearly leaders of every pitching category. It's a book I wrote. I studied pitchers and I looked at 9 pitching stats: wins, pitching wins, innings, strikeouts, shutouts, games started, complete games, earned run average, winning percentage, and saves. Chapter 5, I'm looking at pitching starts. I'm looking at every decade from the 1870s through 2025. I was curious which pitchers landed in the top 5 each season pitching starts. So I covered the 1870s, 80s, and 90s already. And I noticed in those 3 decades, pitching starts, the numbers were high. What do I mean? 50, 60, and 70 starts for pitchers in those decades, with one pitcher having 75 pitching starts in one season. That's a really high number. 75 games started. Now I'm noticing in the 1890s that the numbers start to go down from 50, 60, 70 to now it's 40 and 50 starts. So this video, let's look at the decade 1900 through 1910. Which pitchers stood out as far as starts and how many did they make? Top 5, 1900. Bill Garrett, 41 starts. That is different than what I've been covering in the 1870s, 80s, and 90s, because you had 50, 60, and 70 starts. Now the high for the year, 1900, 41. Pink Hawley, 38. Joe McKinney, Noodles Hahn, and Jack Powell all had 37 starts. 1901, Joe McKinney, 43 starts. Luther Taylor, 43. Noodles Hahn, 42. Cy Young, 41. Bill Donovan, 38. 1902, Vic Willis, 46 starts, led the league. Cy Young, 43. Bill Dinden, 42. Togi Pinger, 40. Jack Powell, 39. Some of these guys haven't heard of them, but some are in the Hall of Fame. Joe McKinney is. Cy Young is. 1903, Joe McKinney. So he's been having some quality starts here. I've got him down, Joe McKinney. 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. 1903, top 5. 48 starts. Christy Mathewson, 42. Eddie Plank, 40. Togi Pingnature, 39. Rube Waddell, 38. 1904, we've got an old school guy here. Jack Chesbro goes for 51 starts. First guy in the decade to go over 50. Rube Waddell, 46. Christy Mathewson, 46. Jack Powell, 45. George Mullen, 44. 1905, Irv Young, 42. George Mullen, Eddie Plank, Vic Willis, 41 starts. Orville overall, 39 starts. 1906, Jack Chesbro, 42 starts. Irvy Young, 41. George Mullen, 40. Al Orth and Jack Weimer, 39. 1907, top 5. Ed Walsh, 46. George Mullen, 42. Eddie Plank, 40. Stoney McClin, 39. Audie Joyce, 38. 1908, Ed Walsh again. 49 starts. Christy Mathewson, 44. George McQuillan, 42. Vic Willis, 38. Hooks Wills, 38. And then 1909, let's finish the decade. Frank Smith, 40 starts. Walter Johnson, where has he been? Oh, he's just coming onto the scene right now. 36 starts. Cy Morgan, 36. George Mullen, 35. Vic Willis, 35. Did you notice the trend? Remember I was telling you, 1870s, 80s, and 90s, guys were in the 50, 60, and 70s start range. Now in the 1900s, it's 40, 45, and one guy, Jack Chesbro, had 51 starts. I think that will be the last time someone will have 50 or more starts in a season. Jack Chesbro's 1904 season. From here on out, nobody will break 50 starts. They're going to be in the 30 and 40 range. So who stood out in the decade? Well, Joe McKinney, Christy Mathewson, a couple, Vic Willis, Eddie Plank, Ed Walsh, Jack Chesbro. Those are the guys kind of take note of and look at during the 1900 decade, 1900 through 1909. All right, my next video, I want to look at the 1910s through 1919. Who stood out as far as most starts in a season? All right. Now I'm going to go through all the decades of the 1900s till we get to 2000, and then 2025 will be my last video. Pitching starts. Curious stat. Talk to you later. I'm out.